Happy Easter, internet friends. It's raining. I'm under trees, but still I need my umbrella, which I got from my client. She looked at me and asked that, it's raining, do you have an umbrella? And I never in my life used umbrella, but this time I actually needed it. So I'm under the trees. You can hear the birds singing because it's early morning, Monday morning, Easter Monday morning, and you are listening to Happy Easter, my internet friends, part 3. So you probably watched the first episode and the second, and you know what is it about. I am based in London. I am standing underneath London trees, but I am from Eastern Europe and we have different traditions. But this episode will be about these traditions because I started to travel very early in life. For example, when I was 10 years old, my relatives, family members who were already born in the USA, they asked me if I wanna go and do the high school in New York. And for some reason at that time I refused. So I stayed in Hungary, in my native Hungary, and then I went to travel. I lived in 5 countries, and for me it was always very, very easy to make friends. So I live with people from Asia, people from South Asia, people from France, and I could talk about these things for hours and hours and hours. No end. And the very first time I kinda felt, but obviously you're like a young person, you're a kid, you're a young person, and then you're an adult. Sometimes they say you're an adult when you're reach the age of 18, sometimes it's 21, and so on. And someone even said that you're adult when you have your driving license, or you're moving away from your parents to your own flat, which is in a current economic situation. It's most probably, especially in London, it's not gonna be your flat, it's gonna be like a shared living sort of situation, and you're gonna live together with 4 or 5 people or even more. So that's it. This is how I live with different kind of nationals. And I remember that I reached the next stage in my life when I was living with a family, and I had my own room, and downstairs there was a family, and there was a second floor with another family, and so on. And the family on the ground floor, what they did, the lady who was actually very young, so basically she probably had her children when she was like 18, 19. So when she was like at the end of her 20s, so the kids were like, quite big already, like 8, 9, 10 or something. There was a boy and a girl. And Easter Monday morning, it was not raining, right? It is raining now that I need to be standing under the trees with an umbrella that I just got from a client because I was working. So, and I work at night. It was actually very sunny, and she alone, she went to the garden because we had a lovely garden there. She went to the garden and she was moving in an S shape, turning right, moving right, and then left, and right again, and left. And she was dropping chocolate eggs. In the last episode I was talking about hand painted eggs. There is actually a technique how to take the middle part out of the egg, so you have the empty shell, and then you dry it out and you paint it. But this one, the lady, a couple of years ago, when she went to our garden, she was dropping on the floor, hiding in the grass, chocolate eggs, blue eggs and red eggs and yellow and so on. She was hiding it there. And I remember this when I was young. We were doing the same thing. So as kids, you need to go to the garden and you need to find the eggs that the rabbit laid before. And you need to collect as much as you can. So it's basically like a Halloween when you dress as a monster or something like that, and you go house to house, trick and treat. This is the same thing. You go and check every place in the garden and you find these chocolate eggs, and then later you collect them all. The game is over when you collected them all, and then you can have them for later. And that was, I remember this, that was the very first time in my life when I was like, I felt really good to see this Eastern European tradition abroad.